Hello and welcome everybody to Crypto Rosetta. My name is Savage and today we're going to be having a look at TRX. Before we jump into the price action, I just want to say thank you for watching. If you are enjoying the content, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video, and leave us some feedback down below. Also in the description you'll find a link to the Discord. Come check it out, it is free to join. So with this, with TRX, it's quite a difficult chart to work with. We don't have a lot of price history here, and pretty much from this point in 2018, we've just been sort of range bound here. So there's a couple of things we can potentially argue here. We could argue that we could be within a triangle here, where this becomes an A, B, C for A, B, potentially looking for the C wave to have actually completed here. So I've used this trend line just off this low point here. Obviously, if we start to lose this, it becomes less likely that this is going to be playing out. But effectively, within this move here, if we do see a three-wave structure which gets rejected off this top trend line again, potentially we could actually look for this to be a D wave and then finally an E wave and then look to move to the upside. So this is something I'm just keeping an eye on. There are other ways of counting this as well. This way is one of them, looking at this whole move as a W, potentially an X up into this high, and then looking for that potential of a Y wave down. So the one-to-one would actually be this um, 0.470 area, and this would be a one-to-one. It wouldn't have to necessarily move down as deep as that. Minimum we'd be looking for potentially would be the 618, which would be up here at the 0.1886. So this would be an interesting zone, potentially bringing us back into some of these support areas up here. And then I've also highlighted, obviously, we do have had a few rejections off this zone here. This box is 12,960 to this 80881 area. There are a few areas within there which we've had some heavy resistance. So it is possible, we could actually move back up into this, face a rejection, and then look to continue down. As well as that, we do have this zone here of this 03330, which has been an important area of resistance on the way up through this move. So this will also be an area I'm watching. If we do get a move for down here, we could potentially look to retest this. Okay, so now how can we look at this move? Within this structure, basically we've got two options here. What I'm looking at is either this X wave is potentially completed, or alternatively, like I said, we could develop a triangle here. Um, Really, for as long as we don't break above this 1794 range, though, we need to be cautious that we could still see some breakdown within the structure. There's always that possibility, like I said, because of the size of this move here compared to this one, we could actually still be within a corrected wave here where this becomes an A, B, and a C to the upside. If we did get something like that, what I'd then be looking for would be the potential of a flat correction here, and we'd be looking at this as, if I just turn this on now, uh, something like this playing out, we'd be looking at this as a W, looking at this as an X wave down, and then potentially looking for a move up here towards this $2.81 to this 70-cent range. So the 70-cent range would be the lower range of that, but effectively all it would have to do is cross that one-to-one of that A wave, which would be up here at this 29.95. So this is just a common zone it might look to push up to, and depending on whether this X wave is completed or not, we could actually look to come down one more time here. So this is what I'm keeping an eye out. Because it's so choppy, it is very difficult to try and read this one. And basically the possibility here that I'm looking for is actually coming back down one more time between this 50% to the 786, which would be this 0.15418 range at that 786. If we start to lose that, potentially we are looking for a deeper move here, potentially down towards this one-to-one, which would be lower here, or back towards this low point here of this 78 cent. Is it seven? Sorry, 0079 range. So let's get into this. What I'm looking at here within this structure, if we're looking for this potential for this X wave to continue, it could actually complete into this low here, but we don't have enough evidence to say that yet. And this move to the upside is just looking corrective at the moment. It is holding this trend line, like I said. We are holding that zone. So potentially, we could look for this B wave into this zone. But for as long as we remain in this area of this, um, basically this 382 is the lowest point, and I've marked that up here as a potential rejection area. Though ideally we'd like to see this come up higher. So what I'm looking out for here is the possibility of forming something like this as a bigger ABC pattern to the upside here in a three-wave structure. So the 50% would be this 89.21, and the 786 region would be actually up here towards this B wave high. So keep an eye on that. If this does move up, could be quite an interesting zone, because this also does tie in with this top descending diagonal line here. So keep an eye on that if we do actually manage to get up there. But yeah, I mean, we've got at this 50%, we've got these swing highs here as well. So that would also be potentially a zone of rejection if we're looking for that continuation. But what I'm looking for is effectively if we do move up towards the 618 region, which is this 1050, we could look for this continuation down towards this zone again of this 03758 to this 0154 region. And this would then satisfy that potential Y wave here. Alternatively, this could also then be an X wave looking for this Y wave to the upside. So because it's so choppy, we're gonna have to take this one step at a time here and see how it goes. If we do move down into this zone, then we could have that potential to move up towards this $1 region here. Basically the 70 cent would be that 236, and then the 119 would be a 1.382. So this is possible, but what we would have to see is this move starting. If we're looking for a Y wave, it potentially would be a three-wave structure up. So the problem with this is if we just get a move up like this, it wouldn't be very bullish at all. What I would be looking at, it would then be that possibility that we have an A, B, and potentially a C wave down. So we'll have to see if we do actually move up into this zone. If we start to reject with a bigger five-wave structure, this whole move could then become just a bigger flat correction here. And potentially we could actually look to come back down and actually take this low again at a later date. We'd have to keep an eye on the internals of this, because it could be a running flat and fall short of this as well. Okay, so basically within this is that option that we could be looking for this upside. I do think that is likely we're going to face a rejection in here and actually look to set another low from these points. But for as long as this area holds here of the 0441, potentially we could look to start to move up and, like I said, come up into this red box. We'll have to monitor that subwave structure, but the way that I'm looking at it, if I just turn all this other stuff off for a second here, uh, what I'm looking at on the short term here, I'm going to come into the 4 hourly. So basically, the way I'm looking at this, because of the fact, there's quite a lot of overlap within this structure. It is possible that we could have something in here like a diagonal where this becomes a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 into here. But then either way, what I want to see is basically having a retracement back down into this zone. So the 05716 to the 0496 area, we're looking for this as a potential support zone. For as long as we hold this area of this 0447, potentially we can hold this and look for this continuation to the upside in a bigger A, B, and a C pattern. And this could potentially bring us up towards the zone of this 0872. So if we do get a move up towards this area, like I said before, I'd be cautious of this area. We've been rejected quite a few times off of it. This could then be just a three-wave corrective move, and then basically in the bigger picture, this would be a connector wave, and then we'd be looking to actually break to the downside from this zone. So need to keep an eye out on that. Obviously, if we start to lose this ascending trend line that we have here, it's going to be seen as a bearish thing. We could then look to actually retest it and then reject down and look for potential move down towards this next support zone at this 0330 would be the next major support zone. There are some slightly higher than that, but what I'm looking for here is a possibility that this is actually completed into this high, and that we could be looking to actually come back and retest this descending channel or descending trend line that we were within, and then basically look for that continuation to the upside. Though we do have, obviously, like I said, this ascending trend line here. So at the moment, what I'm looking at to the downside here is that potentially we just have an ABC structure here. So we've got to be a bit cautious with this. This can actually look to extend up as long as it holds this low point of this 0620. But for the most part, I am looking at this as a potential A wave, looking for rejection or looking for a potential move back up towards this 0708 to the 06841 zone, and then actually looking for that potential to come down one more time, looking to actually retest this channel line for that B wave. So if we do move into that zone, it would be actually potentially that we would come back down to the 382 and not the not that 50%. It would be a very shallow retracement at that point. I just want to throw this onto a regular. Yeah. So that could tie in with actually coming back to the 0.382. Typically, we look for a deeper retracement at that 50%, but if we do move down here just in a three-wave structure like we have it here, potentially that 6188 would be a one-to-one, and then that 382 would actually be a little bit lower here at this 06062 region. So the thing we got to be cautious of here is we could actually see some because we have five-wave structure here. This move, we'd have to be cautious that if we do move past this zone here of the 610, what we could then see is basically we could start to see some structure like this, where this becomes a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, and then actually we have an additional 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 here. So if we do get a five-wave structure off of this here, we'd have to be cautious because this could just be a connector wave within a sequence. And as long as we hold this zone, we can look for that additional push to the upside. But if we start to lose the 786, which would be this 4969 area, becomes likely actually we're going to take this low again, and potentially, move back through this descending trend line that we've got here. So just keep an eye on that. Basically, what I am looking for is this potential to push up one more time. Whether we find support here at this upward slanted diagonal, or whether we actually push through and go deeper into this support box, potentially we could look for this C wave to the upside. So that's what I'm looking at in the shorter term view of this move. There is the potential that we could actually look to push up here as long as we hold this low. So the reason I'm looking at this is, like I said, potentially we can argue that we've got some five-wave structure in here. You'd have to look at this basically as a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, like this as a flat correction in a fourth wave here. But it is possible, that we could see smaller corrective move in here and we're getting some extension where this becomes a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But this is, we're already sort of testing the boundaries of this. We've come down towards that 786. And the problem is with this, if we fail to take these highs, what we could then see is this basically progress to that bigger five-wave move that I was talking about down. For as long as we hold it, though, any kind of a move past this 0.83924 basically would then give us the possibility of looking at this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 up into this zone. The typical fourth wave area would be the 0955, so 7558 area off of this impulsive zone. So this is what I'm looking at. If we do get a move up here, potentially, we could look for this to the upside. The one other thing, yeah, there we go. So I want to just talk about this because this is looking at the potential of a bigger breakdown here. And so the way you would look at this move, I'm just plotting this out because this would indicate we'd actually get a much deeper move here, potentially coming back to retest that zone. As long as we actually fail to break back above these points of this 1294 and this high here, what is this sitting at? This 1785. Potentially there is still that possibility to break down. So these areas are going to be key. These swing highs here, potentially this rejection point here, this 076 7622 to this 1031 area. This is going to be important rejection points where this could actually look to become a 1212. So we'd be looking at this as a diagonal. So this is the thing, this is a bit this solely relies on staying below this at 1294, and then we can look at this as potentially, instead of looking at this as an ending move, as a diagonal, as an A, B, and a C, this could then become a 1212, and then we actually break down deeper. So this is why this zone is going to be important. If we reject here, a bit, I would expect it to come a bit higher up though. The 7622 to this 1031 zone. If we do actually move up, this golden pocket's actually in quite an interesting area compared to these highs here. That could be we could see this play out as bigger ABC here, fail that, and then actually look to break down deeper. So keep an eye on this zone. It's going to be quite an important resistance area. We've been rejected through this zone a few times, and really until we actually break above 1294, we could still see this extension. If we did move up to the 618, basically only a move down past the 01991 would give us confirmation, but what we'd be looking for would be that internal structure to start to develop as a 5-wave move, and then potentially what we could see with something like this is, maybe we form a wave 1 down, find support on this, retest this top channel here, get a rejection, and then actually look to have that sell off deeper for this wave 3. So that's something I'm just sort of planning ahead for. If we do get a rejection off here, it's going to be key whether we can maintain this flow of the 04475 or whether we actually break down deeper. Okay, so that's what I'm currently tracking. We'll try to keep you up to date once we get a bit more information within the waves. I hope you found the video useful. If you did, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video, and leave us some feedback down below. Also in the description, you'll find a link to the Discord. Come check it out. It is free to join. As well as that, you will find affiliate links for Prime XBT and BYBIT down there. Great exchanges that we use on a regular basis. Check them out for yourselves. Everyone, have a great day. We'll see you in the next one. Take